Hello. Oops. Ah, Welcome to Timeless Mysteries. I'm just waiting for people to show up. Hopefully, we'll get some people here. I just want to welcome everyone to this live stream. We're going to be taking a look at 911 calls, specifically one particular 911 call. I think the dispatcher was really kind of not good at her job. But I plan to kind of go over over a couple different 911 calls and show you guys the difference in those. Welcome to Timeless Mysteries. Once you get in the chat, just let me know where you're watching from. Welcome to this live stream. We're going to be taking a look at the world of 911 dispatching. Those critical, tense moments that can literally mean the difference between life and death. I'm Robert, and you're watching Timeless Mysteries. Let's see, there's a couple of really good 911 calls that I would like to talk about. I know a lot of you are following the Idaho 4 murder case, and they just recently released the 911 call from that. And the problem I had with that particular wait a second, I got a deleted message here. Hey, April, I don't know why my little bot deleted your comment, but hey, April, how's it going up there in Edmond, Alberta? Oh, it's saying that you texted in all caps. Hey, Maribel, how's it going? Apparently, my little bot thing that I finally got doesn't like all caps. It will block your message. But yeah, guys, welcome to my live stream today. I'm going to be talking about 911 calls, specifically the Idaho 4 911 call. I do want to kind of go over a couple of other ones just to kind of show you what a normal 911 call sounds like compared to the one from, I don't know what that dispatcher was thinking. Yeah, it's okay. I know you weren't yelling. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. I'm kinda new to the live stream, so I don't feel like I'm a good, public speaker. So, I'm good at writing stuff down. I'm good at reading stuff I wrote, but it's hard to kinda just, wing it like some people are really good at that. But, yeah, you guys have heard the 911 call from the Idaho 4 case, right? Yeah. I don't know if you noticed it, but the first thing I thought of was, "What the heck is going on? Why are they talking to this person who's in a crisis like that?" The dispatcher didn't seem to genuinely care at all. She was just like, "Blah, blah, blah, stop passing the phone." Well, person's having a crisis and there's I don't know. But, I'll play that audio here in a little bit. Um, but I did look up a bunch of information on how 911 dispatchers are trained. There's like every state is different. but there is like a national um, standard kind of thing, and they are supposed to be, somewhat friendly. um, the 911 operators are often the unsung heroes. They're the ones that have to deal with unimaginable stress every day. And, when you're in stress and you're calling 911, things can just get kind of crazy. So they have to learn how to address things. They need to, try to make you kind of de-escalate a little bit so that they can get some information and get you help right away. But if you watch, let me see if I can pull up that video or the audio for. Let me see if I can find it. I found it, but I have to figure out how to share that screen. Here we go. So we have to watch a commercial. But this is the wait, I'm on the rain. There we go.
Here's how to tap into Amazon's billion-dollar book market using AI in 4 steps. All right, step.
Apartment. It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live in the
wait. Here, let me start at the beginning.
911 location of your emergency. Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what. What is the address of the emergency? 1122. What is the rest of the address? Oh, Kings Road.
This dispatcher sounds really bored.
It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them. I need someone to repeat the address for verification. The address, 1122 King Road. And what's the phone number that you're calling from? What's your phone number?
They edited out that part.
And tell me exactly what's going on. One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night, and she's not waking up. Okay. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. Hi, and are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much? What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now? I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m. Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out? Yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check. But we have to. Is he passed out? She's not waking up.
Yeah, see, this is hard to hear.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way. Okay, thank you.
I don't know why they didn't just dispatch somebody right away as soon as they got the address, because you could tell something's not right. This is not a typical person passed out kind of scenario. But that dispatcher, I don't know why she seemed so just. She seemed kind of like she didn't care. She didn't want to. Hey, thank you, April. That's awesome. Um, yeah, the dispatcher didn't seem to care. Like she just wanted to like get whatever information she needed. She didn't try to de-escalate the situation. She didn't try to help the person calm down at all. I understand there's got to be a point where, they've got to get the information, right? But the thing is, doesn't 911 get all of your information as soon as you call in anyway? Like, if you call and hang up, they call you back. They've got your number already. So, I just thought it was um, pretty crazy. But, I do wanna play a couple other 911 calls so we can kinda just see the difference in um, how they talk to people. Let me see if I can. This one is an interesting story. If you haven't heard of Amanda Berry, you should look it up. She was actually captive in a house. She'd been kidnapped when she was a kid, and she'd been there for like 11 years. And let me see if I can share this one. And where did it go? I thought I had it. I don't think it's working. Hold on. Hmm, Well, I screwed this up. Let me see if I could figure out how to share my screen. Guys, I'm really new to all of this, so I don't know how it's supposed to work. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. Let me see. Here we go. Let's see if this works.
Cleveland 911. Hello, police. Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. You need police, fire, or ambulance? I need police. Okay, and what's going on there? I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now. Okay, and what's your
But
address?
you can kind of hear the
Tony.
tone in this other dispatcher's voice is way different.
I can't hear you. It looks like you were calling me from.
I don't know if you can hear now.
Okay, stay there with those neighbors. Talk to the police when they get there. Okay. Thank you. Okay, talk to the police when they get there. Okay. Hello? Yeah, talk to the police when they get there. Okay, I'm right now. We're going to try to get a car open. No.
See, that dispatcher doesn't sound like she's, annoyed with the situation. She's actually trying to calm the girl down a little bit, letting her know that the dispatcher is on their way. And I mean, there's other ones too. Like, I don't know, if you listen to um, any 911 call, they're just, hold on. Hey, is this? Oh, there it is. Let me close this and this. Maybe I should be able to find it easier.
Something's wrong with him. Yeah. He's coming to check me out. He's got something in his hands. I don't know what his deal is. They always get away.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
Well, that's not a very detailed one, but the dispatcher's tone is way different. Is the point, really? Let's see. I don't think that was the entire phone call. But anyway, let me see. So I did look up information on how dispatchers are trained, and I'm trying to find that information. Um, so the evolution of America's 911 system dates back to the 60s when 911 was designated as a universal emergency number. Over the decades, it's gotten a little bit more complex with population booms and the rapid pace of technology. Um, the first priority in most dispatch protocols is to confirm the location. It sounds obvious, but location is everything. So before they ask anything, they get that information. It should also be in their computer system already, especially well, I guess with cell phones, it wouldn't necessarily be there, but they can find your location on a cell phone also. Dispatchers typically follow a structured call taking protocol. In many centers, the software guides them through a decision tree. Is the victim breathing? Is the victim conscious? Was there a weapon? Are there any other people in the vicinity who might be at risk? These are questions that sound a little repetitive, but they're crucial to effectively categorize the call. Um, the something like a possible cardiac arrest, an active shooter, an armed burglary carry different priority levels. um, the emotional intelligence is another dimension of training. Dispatchers are taught to recognize extreme panic, shock, or confusion in callers. They might respond with a calm repetition of "I understand, stay with me, keep breathing," things like that. um, I need you to answer a couple questions, but they actually are supposed to be their tone has gotta be kind of calming, not, you know, not fingernails on a chalkboard kinda thing. Most experienced operators learn how to de-escalate situations verbally. Um, and let me see. I guess let's go back to the Idaho call and listen to what how they start the call. Um, oh, I'm on the wrong screen still, huh?
911 location of your emergency.
Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
Something is happening in the house and I don't know what. That should be like an immediate send the police officer now. Um, she sounds hysterical, right? She doesn't sound like, something, it's just some random thing that they're just misunderstood something. She sounds scared. She sounds terrified.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have?
So she's already got the address. It was clearly stated, and she asked for it again, which makes this caller, it escalates the person. She gets kind of nervous and scared more, I think, and then she passes the phone.
Have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the light, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
See, this is like, almost a minute. And if there was an emergency, the police this emergency situation that respond to it because of this dispatcher was, you know, not trying to help. I don't know what she's doing. But most people don't
And
call
tell me
into
exactly what's going
911
on.
if they're not having an emergency.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. Hi,
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check. But we have to. Did you pass out?
They know something's not right, and that's why they're calling 911. They just don't want to believe what they see, I think.
She's not
And this
waking up.
dispatcher is not trying to find out what actually happened.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
This is what, like, 2 minutes later, she finally says, "I'll get help for you." It just makes me really sad that if I have an emergency, I hope that a dispatcher, a 911 caller, it's going to be taken seriously, and I'm going to get help fast. But yeah, that I don't know. I just think that person just does her job too much and doesn't care that much about her job. I think she knew that roommate of hers wasn't alive. And from what I've read, there was a lot of blood, and I don't understand why they wouldn't have mentioned that if that was true. So I'm not sure if there was a lot of blood. I've done quite a bit of reading about it, but a lot of information has kind of been redacted. Stuff is being kept secret, confidential for now until the trial. And I do think that is important, especially if it's going to trial. It needs to be, where, what is it called? The jury. It's going to be harder to find a jury if all the information is, out there already before the trial even starts. But I swear I had some good notes here, and I can't seem to find any of them. Let me see if I can find another good. Okay. So yeah, the Idaho 4 murder case, it's generated a lot of debate online. 4 University of Idaho students were tragically killed in an off-campus residence, and the 911 call was made when friends discovered the victims. Early on, confusion arose as to who exactly placed the call. Some reports indicated it was made from the phone of one of the roommates who survived, and we clearly heard that. But the details have been clarified. The real flashpoint for controversy came when portions of the dispatcher's response were leaked. I guess I don't know if they actually released this or if it was a leak, but as soon as it was out there, everybody had it. And it's just, I don't know why that dispatcher was like that. It just, you could tell there was someone hysterical on the phone, and she didn't seem to care. She just wanted to check her boxes and move on, like get to the next call. And I can't imagine if I was that person and that was my job, and then it's on the, it's basically viral, and that dispatcher is going to be remembered as the unempathetic dispatcher for the rest of her life. What motion by the defense? Do you know specifically what motion was made? Did they request that that 911 call be public? I've heard a couple of things, and I don't ever I always try to research this stuff when I hear it, but I hear things and I don't have time to actually look into them. But I've heard something that the defense is trying to um, do a couple things before we even get to trial. Um, and I've heard some rumors, and I'm pretty sure these are rumors that there was DNA of somebody else that they found, and that somehow they were related to Brian Koberger. I'm pretty sure that's just all kind of. It might have started out as something partially true, but it just got changed by everyone. And let's see. I'm just trying to find some facts. And all I find is other people's videos. And one time I tried showing just random videos on YouTube, and then my live stream got demonetized because the audio in one of the crappy videos that I watched was copyrighted, and it was weird. Like I was watching it for maybe 30 seconds, and then I don't know, they demonetized my entire live stream because of that one video. Well, obviously the defense wants to keep everything out, anything that they found, because it's evidence that that guy was there. But I thought I heard something recently about the defense was trying to do something. Maybe it was something about Brian Koberger being autistic, I heard, but there was something more recent also. And I don't, I can't seem to find it. Koberger. Well, you guys have seen the selfie video images of him in the shower, right? That's kind of weird. I don't know if he's like taking pictures of himself or what. Let me see if I could show this. It's not a video, it's just a still image. But this is the selfie picture. If I can, it won't open. I can't share it. If I click on it, it doesn't share. It opens in another window, so I can't share it. But let me see if this video. I think this is an interesting 911 call if it's the actual right one.
Rick, can we play just that second word, what we think the second word is, and hear if that sounds any different? Okay. I mean, it certainly sounds like that word to me, although you just can't be sure. But that sounds even more like the word than using it when it was with the F word before there.
That's correct.
All right, it seemed pretty clear then, but since then, we've been able to use an even higher tech method to isolate what was said that night. Here again, Gary Tuckman.
This is Brian Stone. He's one of our senior audio engineers, correct, an expert in this field. And you have enhanced the tape to this tape either to it because I wanted to listen to a version that's been enhanced I haven't listened to. Let's play it.
The back entrance.
Are you following them? Yeah. Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Now that certainly sounds much clearer than the first tape we listened to.
I still can't hear what
Right?
it says.
It's extremely clear now.
Some are accusing George Zimmerman of using the racial slur coons in his 911 call. It was preceded by the F word.
Can we play it again? Can you repeat it so we can hear it a few times? The problem.
Yeah, that's not the video I thought it was, but they, yeah, I can't seem to find the actual 911 call. Ah, here it is.
The best.
Sanford Police Department. Line is being recorded. Sean.
Hey, we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. It's Retrieve View Circle. The best address I can give you is 111 Retrieve View Circle. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining, and he's just walking around looking about.
Okay, and this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He looks black.
Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie, and either jeans or sweatpants and white tennis shoes. He's here now. He was just staring.
Oh, he's just walking around the area?
At all the houses.
Okay.
Now he's just staring at me.
Okay, and he said it's 1111 Retrieve You or 111?
That's the clubhouse.
That's the clubhouse. Do you know what he's near the clubhouse?
But yeah, the point is that you can hear the difference in the tone for the 911 operators. Let's see what else. Let me see if I can find something to talk about that gets that changes the tempo of this one. This live stream is not going well. At least it doesn't feel like it. Let me see what I could. Well, let me see if I could share this. Apparently, I cannot. Window, nope. Entire screen. There we go. I can share it, but this is this thing that I've been working on, and I kind of shared it with you guys before a little bit. I've been kind of working on different ways of telling the Chris Watts story, and I don't know. It's a little easier for me to write about this stuff when I write it this way. But yeah, thanks, Maribel. I appreciate it. I will get better at this stuff. I did kind of just plan this afternoon before I got done with work. And, I found out that you can't set up your live stream from your phone if you're going to go live from your computer. So I won't make that mistake again. But I did try to map out what I was going to talk about, only I didn't edit anything. So I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I did share this kind of part of this before, but I just wanted to show you guys, got like this whole thing. And it's not short little couple paragraphs like I've posted on my community tab. It's quite lengthy. And this isn't even I've got a novella basically. It's like almost 20 words. And it doesn't have this part in it also. But I could read some of it if you guys want to hear it. Night draped the Watts household like a velvet shroud, soft and deceptively gentle. In the stillness of the late hour, Chris lay awake beside his sleeping wife, Shanann, Shanann's breathing was steady and warm, a fragile rhythm that once brought him comfort. Now it echoed in his ears like the ticking of a clock, counting down. Each inhale and exhale, a reminder of the life pulsing next to him and the life within her. So innocently unaware, the summer darkness pressed against the bedroom windows, thick with secrets, as if the night itself knew what was coming and held its breath in fear. Hey, Crafted, you made it. You missed my boring talk about 911 calls. It sounded good in theory, but it actually was kind of short, a short kind of thing. But I'm just kind of reading through some of the stuff that I've written on Chris Watts. Yeah, I feel like I do better with the lives when I've had a day off. So I think I'm going to keep doing them on Sundays. I'm going to keep trying to do one on Wednesday also. I know today's Thursday. I'm going to try to do one live on Wednesday and one on Sunday. The problem is I get really tired after I work all day, and then I come home and I try to be energetic and it doesn't always work out that great. But yeah, Sunday I definitely can do in the afternoon. So then it's not so late for everybody. But yeah, so I was just going to read some of this 6,000 words I've got here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I thought you guys might want to hear some of it again. Here in the midnight hush, that smiling image felt like a taunt from a life he no longer recognized. He had become a stranger in his own home, an imposter wearing a husband's face and a father's hands. Those hands, Chris flexed his fingers slowly, recalling how Shanann would place his palm on her swelling belly each night, guiding him to feel that faint flutter of the baby kicking within. Nico, she had whispered with shining eyes, the name of their unborn son, a promise of hope. Her joy had once been contagious, drawing him into dreams of the future, but lately each kick beneath his hand only tightened the cord of dread around his heart. The future felt like a dark road with no escape, and he stumbled blindly forward, could sense a chasm opening up ahead. He rose quietly from the bed, careful not to wake her. Standing in the doorway, Chris listened to the hush that enveloped the house. Down the hall, the girl's bedroom door was ajar, a pale nightlight casting star-shaped glow on the ceiling. He could imagine Bella and Celeste tangled in their blankets, cheeks flushed with sleep, tiny mouths slightly opened. He imagined the image should have filled him with tenderness. Instead, it felt like icy prinkling at the base of his neck. A voice in his mind, quiet, insistent, asked, "Who are you becoming?" Yeah, actually, I think I read this guy for you guys before, at least part of it. So I'm gonna skip ahead. Yeah. Let me see if I can find He buried his face in her neck, breathing in the scent of her hair one last time. A mix of lavender shampoo and the salt of dried tears she must have shed in recent days. She stiffened in surprise at the intensity of his hold. "Chris?" she gasped softly. Before doubt could paralyze him, the darkness within ceased control. His hands found their way to her throat with a terrible tenderness. Her pulse fluttered wildly against his palms, and tiny bird trapped beneath fingers that had once only ever cradled and caressed. Shanann's confusion ignited in panic as she realized what was happening. Her nails scrabbled at his arms. A choked cry tried to escape her lips, but could not. Chris's heart thundered in his chest, each beat screaming for him to stop, even as his grip tightened. Hot tears streamed down his cheeks as he squeezed, as if applying pressure he could crush not just her airway, but all the fears and failures between them. Shanann's eyes, those loving eyes, met his. In them he saw terror, betrayal, and a question. Why? It was the last, it was a question he would never be able to answer and would echo in his dreams for the rest of his life. It was over within minutes, though to Chris, it felt like in an eternity and in an instant all at once. Who lied? About what? About it, the way this happened? You know, I think when he initially told people what happened, I think that was more closer to the truth. And then as he started thinking about it, I think he started changing his story. But yeah, I don't know. One of these days I'll post this whole thing. I need to rewrite some of it. As you can hear, some of it doesn't flow properly when you try to speak it out loud. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I believe the story that, he choked his wife and then Bella walked in. I believe that. And that was part of his what he said in that interview in February of 2019 interview. He said he climbed on top of Shanann, and he said that he thought she probably thought he wanted to be intimate, but then he choked her to death. And then as it was finished, that's when Bella came in. And I've been hearing from people telling me about how he gave them all drugs. What was it? Oxycontin. The what kind of medicine is that? The pain pill. But I can forget the actual what they call those kind of meds. It's weird. Normally I know that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if he did drug his wife and his daughters, if he would have given a 2-year-old, adult medication, it probably would have messed her up pretty bad. But I don't think he did. Not real. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think he really drugged them? That he slipped them some pain pills and that's how he got away with he got away with murdering his wife without any damage to himself, and you'd think that she would have fought back. Yeah, 80 milligrams. Let me see. I'll have to look it up. What was it called? Oxycontin or something? Something. Oxycodone. That's what it is. It's a opioid. That's the word I was looking for. Wow, I couldn't think of that. Yeah, it's an opioid. But yeah, I don't know how much is a normal dose, but I do know that any dose for like even if you gave a child, a 2-year-old, if they ate one of your Benadryl tablets. It's too much for a little kid. It could really hurt them, make them have serious problems. But I know there's something in the autopsy report about the levels of this kind of stuff, but I read that it will show up in an autopsy report regardless. It's just something that happens to the way the stuff in the body starts breaking down after you die. And I'd have to look into it a little more to explain it better. But I wanted to read that autopsy report just to find out if, there was drugs in her system, because it doesn't make sense that there was no damage, no fighting back whenever she died, and it would make more sense if she was drugged. Yeah, I used to take tramadol. It's not it's not as well. It's definitely addictive. Um, tramadol is not as strong as like the oxycodones and what is the other one, the Percocets and the stuff like that. But it's still super addictive. It's a man-made um, type, same type of medicine. But I had to spend. I remember I spent like a month weaning myself off of that thing. There was one time I drove like 4 hours to someplace and I forgot my med. And then I started having like the withdrawals. And I was like, oh man, I got to get off of this med because I just can't be on medication that requires you to constantly take it. If I forget it, I don't want to feel like that ever. So, yeah, I would recommend if you can get off of pain meds, you should. Um, but yeah. Let me see. I did try writing some fiction for once. I never really tried, but I was researching the Albert Fish case. Albert Fishman? Albert? Oh, shoot. I can't remember his name right now. But let me see if I could find it. No, I don't know what I saved it as. But it's actually got a character in there, kind of like Mulder from X-Files, but he's he's just basically looking into kid abductions. But that guy, Albert, what is his name? Albert Fish. I want to say it's Albert Fish. Yeah, I think it is Albert Fish. He was an American serial killer, and he kidnapped and tortured and murdered children. And there's like about 400 kids or something. So I'm kind of writing a fictional story about somebody who did something similar, but my detective guy is going to be more into the supernatural. So he's kind of he does the spooky cases, kind of like Mulder from the X-Files, if you ever watched that. But once I get a good draft, I might share like some of it. But it's based off of where I kind of grew up in Southeast Kansas even. I even came up with a cool name for the town. And it's basically my old town, but I just renamed it. And, all the surrounding towns are the same. I don't know. It's kind of fun to be creative like that. But I just don't know if I'll ever like finish it. I have this habit of like writing a story and then at some point it just kind of fizzles out. And that's what I like about writing true crime because I already know the end. And that's what I heard that people say about writing, mystery novels is you got to know the end first. And yeah. I'm just reading through the chat here to see what. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really had to deal with chemo stuff. My grandmother had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, I think it was called, and she had to have bone marrow transplant. Um, and if you knew my grandmother, she was like this diehard wrestling fan, like WWF back in the day, WCW, before it all merged into one thing. And once she started doing the stuff to take care of the cancer, she all of a sudden hated it. She said it was too violent. She couldn't watch it. It just made her like she hated it. It was just so weird to see her like that. But then before she passed away, she kind of got back into her old ways and she seemed to enjoy it again. But if you guys knew my grandma, she was really cool. I always watched wrestling when I was at her house and it was on. And I remember we would get pay-per-views every once in a while too. And it was like the most exciting thing when I was like 12 years old. Maribel, I think they did release the autopsy reports, and I think I have them somewhere on my computer. I even read that one of the girls had like oil in their lungs, like they, sucked it in because they might not have been dead yet. Let me see if I can find that autopsy report. I know I've got the actual file somewhere. I've always said I should keep all of my stuff together in one spot, and I never do. Let me see if I can figure out where. Yeah, there's no easy way to find it. But I swear I just looked at it the other day even. Yeah, I don't know. I have it somewhere. There's several places online you can actually find it. Also, yeah, I can't seem to find it. Sorry. It's probably on my phone or something. Let's see. No, I don't know where it. If I'd have thought about it, I could have found it. I don't know if you guys have a copy of the autopsy reports, but there is an actual autopsy report where you can read the whole thing. I think I found it. Yeah, let me see if I could share this. This looks like it. But you can't trust everything you find on the internet. I'm going to tell you that, guys, right now. And I just found this one. So it's possible that it's been faked. But this is the autopsy report. And I think when you get into the actual details, and there's somewhere down here where it says that there was either drugs or alcohol in her system, but I Googled it and it's actually, it happens after death. But sorry, I'm just kind of skimming through it, but it has, all of the information. This looks like the same one that I have. And I'm trying to get to the. I swear there's something about the alcohol and blood, the stuff in her blood. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I have to, spend some time and look through it. But there was, in the report, this is it, the ethanol, maybe. The blood alcohol. Because it looks like she had alcohol in her system. But if you Google it, can be normal. And I think it said it's in section 3 down here. And it's blood obtained from the spleen is submitted to the labs for analysis. Yeah. Yeah, that's all they've got on here. But I don't think they found any drugs in her system. And everything that I did read about it, that whenever I first read the report, was that it could happen just by the body decomposing, and it would give you these low levels of, different things that seem like it might be like she was drugged or she was drunk. But yeah. Oh, you sent me the discovery. Where is it? Oh, is it on Messenger? Yeah. Anyways, guys, I don't know. I'm sorry. This wasn't a super interesting. Oh, I did find it. The story that I'm writing. It's because I didn't actually save it, is why I couldn't find it. And it got recovered when I opened my computer. I've only got a few thousand words so far. But here, you guys can take a look at it. I know it's not true crime and stuff, but this is what I do when I get bored. I think a lot. I'm really curious, and I always end up writing stuff. But I grew up in this town in southeast Kansas, and there for a while I lived on this street called Willow Street, and that's why I named it Willow, Kansas. But fictional place, really. But yeah, this is my guy's name. He's the Mulder. He's inspired by Mulder. I grew up in the 90s, so I watched the X-Files. And now I can't watch the X-Files. I've tried watching it, but there's just too much information out there now. They released all those UFO files and everything, and it's just not the same anymore. Before, when it was a mystery, it was really good. Now that we know, it's like, we know that's not true. But yeah, I've never really tried writing fiction too much. But Harrison Knox slowed his sedan to a crawl as he passed a battered sign welcoming him to Willow, Kansas. The letters were chipped, the paint peeling, but it still read the same greeting. It must have shown for decades. Population 2,562. Below it, a dull arrow pointed toward the town's center. Beyond the sign, cornfields stretched in every direction, rustling in the languid breeze. The early evening sky glowed with a soft pink haze, and the last rays of sunlight caught the dust motes swirling in the humid air. For a moment, the scene looked perfectly peaceful, an idyllic postcard of rural America, if not for the gnawing sense of unease that trickled through Harrison's gut. But, where I lived, we actually had more sunflowers than corn, cornfields. Yeah, I can play it again. Let's see. Have you heard it yet? Let me figure out how to close this. And let me. This is a recording I have of it.
911 location of your emergency.
Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency? What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
See, they edit out that part, so it sounds like
And
nothing's
tell me
happening.
exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she not wake me up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Right? Sorry,
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check. But we have to. Is he passed out?
For the transcript?
What's wrong? She's not waking up.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
Pause here. This was about noon the next morning. There's some weird things about this phone call that I was kind of surprised about. First was I had read and heard in other videos that there was so much blood that it was leaking through the walls, and you could see the blood dripping from the outside of the house in some places, and that the what is it, crap, I can't think of the name, the medical guys that are there, like taking samples of DNA. What's that called again? But they spent a long time collecting evidence because it was so gory. So whenever I first heard this, unfortunately, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, this 911 person is awful. Like, she is not doing a good job. Yeah, the forensic guys. The forensics guys there was supposed to be there like, 3 or 4 times longer than normal because there was so much stuff that they had to take samples from. I had saw that, pictures of like red stuff dripping out the outside walls where you can see the like vents from the basement area or something. And, so I just imagined this would be like blood everywhere. There was 2 victims in one room. That were together, and then I think the other 2 were in separate rooms on different floors. So I just I just imagine it being a lot more bloody. So if somebody, went into that room and this woman had been stabbed, they would know, right? They would know that she's not just passed out. And I mean, it sounds like by the sound of her voice that she knows something that she's not like saying out of, I mean, she doesn't seem like she just thinks somebody's passed out. And so if you think about it, the way she also mentions we saw somebody at 4 a.m., that sounded a little bit weird to me. Um, why would she bring that up when she's trying to get help for her friend that she thinks is passed out? Um, she's hysterical. I can tell that for sure. But um, when she starts talking about the person she saw at 4 a.m., her voice and her tone changes a little bit, and it just it's kind of weird. But I don't believe that this guy didn't do it. The guy in the picture here, um, it's just too weird. If he didn't do it, if he really did get set up, framed or whatever, I just can't imagine it. He just seems like the person just based off of the way he was stalking this house. He was there multiple times in his car. One of the stories I almost published on here was about how I thought maybe he had like wanted to test out what he's learned in criminology to see if he can actually get away with murder. So he maybe, drove in front of this house knowing that he was going to be saw on camera, and that maybe he left that sheath in the in the house because he wanted it to be found. And that's when I found out that he hadn't even finished his first semester in the PhD program. So he's really just he's got a master's degree in criminology. He's not a genius PhD student or something. And if he's actually autistic a little bit, then it just seems even less likely that he did any of this, like planned it out so that he could see if he could get away with murder. But yeah, they were all, I think the girl said she was 20 in this recording. If you guys want to hear the rest of it, I'll let it play all the way through. If I can find the right play button. There we go.
Okay, and how old is she?
Yeah, I can't imagine it either.
20, you said?
Yes, 20 here.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Okay, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she
It
breathing?
sounds like she wants to hang up.
Hello?
And
Is she breathing?
I think if they would have called 911 and then hung up the phone a few seconds later, the police would have been there faster.
You talk to them, okay? I can't talk to them. They need you to talk to them.
Hello.
Okay. I've already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
So this is 3.5 minutes later. So somebody was actually
Okay.
in the
If there's a
process of
defibrillator
dying.
available,
They
send someone to get it
probably
now and tell me when you have it.
We don't have one. I think yes. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay.
You may think that an adult that can't stop watching the P word looks something like this, but this is what they really look like.
But yeah, I don't know. I get kind of hung up on the dispatcher more than then I don't know. Like the police definitely have said that they do not suspect the surviving roommates. But if this girl had opened up her door at 4 in the morning and saw a stranger and, you know, thought something was weird, why would she just go back to sleep? And I just don't know why they waited till, noon to call the police. And I don't know why they didn't start with the blood. Like, I mean, unless it wasn't as bloody as they say it was. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of evidence that we don't know yet. A lot of what we've heard is just like retelling of what a few people have said a little bit about. And then the story just kind of gets bigger and bigger until we actually hear see everything at the trial. They were all drunk. And it sounds like they never locked their doors. People would come to this house and they would ask for the guy that lives there, and they find out that the person they thought lives there doesn't. So people would just show up and hang out. Um, and I don't know. I've never lived in a house like that, but I've had some ex- some experience of similar kind of behavior, but everybody knew who lived there, and the doors were locked at night, I'm sure. But yeah, hopefully the trial is this summer. They'll probably want to postpone it as long as possible, but it's set for I think August right now. I think they just had their pre-trial stuff, and they're probably the defense is definitely gonna try to fight the evidence. That knife sheath is pretty pretty big piece of the prosecutor's story of what happened that night. And if they can't find the actual knife that went in that sheath, then I don't know if that sheath is really going to be, you know, they got to have other evidence, is what I think. There's got to be something more that we're not seeing yet. Otherwise, I don't know if I was on the jury, if like they said, well, we don't have a weapon, but we've got this knife sheath that has a little bit of DNA on the snap. What if somebody stole the knife uh, out of the guy's car? That's reasonable doubt to me. But um, I I just can't imagine. I can't imagine what happened that night. Like I can't imagine it. Like it's so horrible. And there's a lot of speculation on whether or not the actual killer, this was his first murder, because it's very rare that a first time murderer kills more than one person. Um, and this guy went from room to room. Um, it wasn't like they were all together and it just happened in an accident. It was planned. The guy went where he was going, and then he kept going. And the story of the one witness seeing the guy leaving the house at about 4 a.m. Supposedly, she opens the door, peeks out the crack, and sees him walking out, and he doesn't notice the door open, and so she's safe. But I mean, I think he would have noticed. He's going to be hypersensitive to everything, I think. Um, and I don't know. Like my speculative brain is like coming up with stories of what really happened already, and I just don't want to. Um, I don't want to do that because um, I don't know what happened, and I don't want to start rumors either. But I don't think we know everything, and I think um, it's going to be an interesting trial once the evidence gets you know shown in trial. We'll start to see the big picture of what actually happened and why the police don't think that the people who lived there are suspects. Um, but if I was a defense attorney, I think um, I would definitely be pushing towards, that's a lot of time between 4 a.m. and that's 8 hours. That if they thought something was bad was happening, that's 8 hours that they did nothing. They didn't go out of their room. They didn't check on anybody. They didn't try to text somebody else. They didn't do anything. And then, I don't know, maybe there's really not any blood like we thought. And maybe they really didn't see anything. Like they didn't, I don't know. I've seen a guy who died in his car. And I can tell you right now that whenever I just looked at him, you can tell the skin color is just not the same. It's nothing like in the movies either. It just looks, you could just tell. You just like, no, this guy's not got any blood circulation in his body. He was an old guy and he just died of old age. Well, it just happened to be while he was going to a drugstore, a Walgreens or something. And he somehow pulled over before whatever happened to him did. But he was like 80, 90 years old. So, but it's still something. I know that if you see a dead person, you're going to know that there's something wrong. But anyways, you guys, I really appreciate you being here, sticking this out with me. I don't know. I'll try to plan to do something a little more exciting for Sunday. I'll try to do probably Sunday afternoon. I live in Alaska, so 2:00 is like 6:00 East Coast time. So I'll probably try to do something between like 12 and 2, and maybe be have a little bigger plan for what I want to talk about. But yeah. I wrote all of this stuff for this one, and it just doesn't really seem that exciting now that I looked at it when we first started this, and I was like, no, I'm skipping over that. And I got to like paragraph 32, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not reading any of this because there's quite a bit. There's, 4,000 words that I kind of just had been putting together, but they're not good ones. So anyways, appreciate you guys. And I will do something more exciting this weekend. If you guys think of something, put it in the comments somewhere. It doesn't have to be on this particular video. Just, you can leave comments on the trivia questions and stuff. Say, hey, you should talk about this on Sunday or something like that. Yeah, 2. I can do 2. Probably do 2. I can't guarantee it, but I think last weekend I did about 2:00, but 7 p.m. your time, and you're in East Coast time, right? That's I don't know. Yeah, I think I can do 2:00. It's hard to try to figure out time zones. But yeah, Crafted, we'll have to plan an actual live, and I'll have to figure out how to invite you, and you can talk about stuff with me. It might make things a little more exciting too. All right, you guys have a good night. As always, stay safe, be kind, and always question the truth. I'll catch you in the next video.